Hello, namaste everyone. Welcome to day 15 of Yoga for Beginner. Now, we're going to work on hips opening today. So, want to get yourself ready. Make sure you have two blocks and a strap with you today. All right. So, we're going to get started by centering yourself. So, sit in your cross leg position, hands on your knees, roll the shoulders back. When you exhale, relax the shoulders. You just come into a very calm state. Begin by taking deep inhale and full exhale. And we start by observe your surrounding. Any familiar sound or smell, and also the same temperature that you're experiencing. And then bring the awareness into your body. And just carefully scanning from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Any comfort or discomfort feeling that you just want to take note on. As usual, just gonna let it in, take note, and exhale, let it out. And then just a few more deep breaths here. And then just bring the awareness to your breath. And observe the fresh air streaming into your nostril, filling up the lungs and abdomen, finding that gentle expansion on your chest and abdomen. And when you exhale, feel the warm, intense air streaming out of your nostril. Just a gentle contraction on your belly and also your chest. You find it really comfort. Exhale. Just finding that gentle contraction and also a little bit of muscle relaxation. And slowly coming back to the center. And now gently gonna blink, open up your eyes. Alright. Now from here, straighten out your right leg all the way to the side. You want to keep that left foot close to your right inner thigh here. Now, on your next inhale, reaching both of your arms up towards the ceiling. And don't forget to flex your right toes up. And when you exhale, you're going to place your hands towards the front. And just gently walk your hands all the way towards the front here and making sure that right hip is not lifting too high up, all right? And just pressing that right hip back down to the floor and then keep walking and bring your elbows down if it's comfortable. And I'll continue to look right between your palms here, pushing your hips all the way to the back. Flexing your right toes a little bit higher. And just really feeling that stretch on that right hamstring. And now from here, slowly move your hands closer towards your right feet. So walking both of your hands a little bit more to that right feet direction. And maybe stop here. All right. So we'll take one inhale again. When you exhale, push the hip even further to the back. And feel that deeper stretch. Continue to look right between your palms. Now you can always either stay here or you can just continue to walk and bring that right hand over that right feet and making sure you look at your right toes. Now you're folding over that right feet. And stay here. See how open your right hips are. Continue to flex that right toes up and stay here for another 3, 2, and 1. So just walk back. Good. And now from here, just switch your feet, bend your right knee and straighten your left leg out. Okay, so inhale again, reaching both arms up. And exhale, you're going to lean forward and place your hand down towards the front. So continue to walk all the way towards the front here, pushing the hip back so you can drop that left hip, glue it down to the floor. And if it's comfortable, bring both elbows down. And just a few more deep breaths here. Don't forget that left feet pointed up. Just look right to the center of your palms here. And just take notice how your left hamstring is feeling right now. If you want a little bit more, so just continue to walk both of your hands slightly to the left feet. And maybe just stay here. You might feel that if you have a very tight hamstring as you walk to the left feet, you might elbow slowly starts to lift off, which is completely fine, okay? So try your best not to round that back too much. So really go accordingly. Alright, so stay here, one more inhale. And if you can go a little bit further, please do just walk and place that left hand behind your left leg and look at your left toe. Okay, and stay here. And just one more deep breath. Keep holding on. Nice. And just walk your hands back towards you. Now, straighten both legs out to the side. It doesn't have to be too wide, okay? Now, pointing the toes up, if you feel that you are leaning slightly to the back because your hips are a little bit tight, I will recommend you to sit on a block, yep? So take a block and just pop it right under your hip and straighten both legs out towards the side. And now from here, as your hip starts to hoist up a little bit, you can lean a little bit more towards the front without almost rounding the back here. Okay, now hands towards the front here, flexing the toes up, so you're going to walk as far as you can towards the front. So hands keep going, maybe pressing the full palms down to the floor, flexing the toes up, and see how does it feel. So we're still quite early in our practice, so it doesn't matter where you are. If you feel quite far from what you normally practice, it's completely fine. All right, we're gonna come back to this before we finish the class today. Okay, and stay here for another one more deep breath. Maybe you want to walk one palms forward on your exhale, slow and steady. Exhale here. Good. And now inhale, walk your hands back. Good. And now slowly bend one knee at a time. All right, and bend the other. And I want you to come up to your squatting position. So you just open up your feet and slowly lift your hip away from the blocks or away from the floor. Or you just slowly make your way up to your squatting position. Okay, now bring the elbows inside of your knees. We're going to open up that hip. So pushing your knees away from you, bring that palms to the heart center and look up. And maybe you want to rock side to side, moving the body to the right and to the left. Right? And just take notice how your hips are feeling when you work on this mobility movement. And just 2 more deep breaths here. Alright, now come back to the center. So stay where you are. Alright, make sure you're at the front of the mat in your squatting position. And now from here, place both hands down right in front of you. Okay, I'm going to step my right foot all the way to the back. Okay, so as you can see now, I'm in my runner lunge. So drop your back knees down, untuck the toes, and then walk your hands in and then slowly push yourself up. Okay, and on your exhale, I want you to sink your hip forward and open up that chest. Right. So right now, opening that shoulders as well, and then reaching both your hands down towards the floor. It's like you're receiving the energy, receiving something from the front. So you're opening up that chest, looking up as you push your hips forward, and just stay here. And just one more deep breath. And on your exhale, come back to the front. This time you will need 2 blocks. So take 2 blocks with you or 2 shoe box, whichever you prefer. Alright, place it just right next to your front feet. And slowly push your hip back as you're going to straighten your left leg. Okay, and now I'm going to move the block so you can see me. See the left toe starts to point up. If this is way too far for you, walk the blocks back. Okay, you can take a few variety here. Point the toes up, take one deep inhale. And on your exhale, bend the elbows to the back, and then maybe you want to fold just a little bit towards the front. And look at your left toe. And just one more deep breath here. And now making sure your right knee is right below your right hip, okay? Try not to go all the way back down here and fold. You want to keep that right hip above the knee. This is called the half split pose, okay? And now slowly lengthen again if you have your elbows bent. And then you want to bend your front knee and step your left feet down. Okay, place the block back to the side, and this time go back to that low lunge again. So you sink your hip down, begin to open up that chest again. Inhale and take a look up to the ceiling. Keep opening, so keep pushing that hip towards the front. Just one more breath here. And exhale, place your hands towards the front and bring your left knee back. Okay, now chin chest down. Inhale, slide forward, come up to a cobra. And exhale, and just push your hip back into your downward facing dog. And now look towards the front. This time I will step my right feet to the front. Okay, pick up your right leg and just place it right between your hands. Drop your left knee down, untucking your toes. And slowly come back up. You want to push your hip down here and begin to roll that shoulders open like you did earlier on the left side, and then look up to the ceiling. So you're opening it. Right. Lengthening the chest towards the ceiling as well. And now one more inhale. And exhale, you're going to place your hands on top of the block. Take 2 blocks here and place it just right next to you. Okay, go accordingly to what you prefer and comfortable for your body. So begin to straighten your front leg and point the toes up. And just making sure your hip is right below the knee. Take a deep inhale here, lengthening the spine. And when you exhale, as you begin to fold gently towards the front, you might want to take a look at your toes. All right, make sure telling them to flex even more towards the ceiling. Begin to feel that right hamstring starts to stretch a little bit deeper as you fold deeper here. And then just one more breath. In your next inhale, just lengthening both of your arms. And exhale, step your right feet down, bend the knees. Remove the block here again and come back to that low lunge. And then roll that shoulder, same thing. Open that chest, inhale again, look up. Pushing the hip even further towards the front. Good. And exhale, bring your palms down. I want you to bring that right knee back and then chin chest down again. Inhale, slide up into a nice gentle cobra. And exhale into your downward facing dog. And now from here, dropping both knees down back to the floor. This time, straighten your right leg out to the side. So you want to kick that right leg out to the side here, making sure that your heels and your hips is in the same line. And just gently walk all the way up. Now, you're on your knees and make sure that right hip is not tilting too high up on the right side. So you're going to press that right hip down, align with your left hip. I'm going to show you on the side. Stay where you are. Okay, instead of lifting that right hip up, use that right hand and just push that right hip down so you're aligned. Both hips are aligned. Okay, so place your right hand on top of your right thigh into your gate pose. Inhale, left arms up. And exhale, sliding or maybe even walk those fingertips down towards the right feet. Left hand reaching over and take a look up towards the ceiling. And stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, slowly come back to the center. And now place your left hand down next to your left knee. Alright, making sure your left palm is right below your left shoulder. So everything is in line here. Okay, so reaching your right arms up. And now we begin to rock forward and back again, right? Finding that weight is being transferred to the left, to the front, yeah? So slowly as you lean towards the front here, pick your back legs off from the floor. And stay here. And now either stay here or you can try to swing your right leg towards the front without pushing the hip forward, okay? So it's like folding from that right hip. Push the right hip back and then kick your right leg towards the front. And stay here, holding on. 3, and 2, and 1. Switch and kick it back again and place it down. Nicely done. Now place your right hand back down to the floor. Okay, so from here, you're going to place your hands back down and to the front. Okay, so bring that right knee in so you're back in your tabletop position, like how you were. Okay, now we begin by straightening your left leg to the side. Right, and slowly walk your hands towards you and lift yourself up. Okay, so just work on that hip. Make sure your left hip is aligned with that right side. Place your left hand to your thighs. Inhale, right arms up, coming to a gate pose to the left, and walk that left fingertips all the way down to the left leg. Maybe you want to take a look up to the ceiling and just stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Now come back to the center. Bring your right hand down next to you. Okay, left arm up towards the ceiling. So you're moving the weight all the way towards the right side or towards the front. So stay here, keep going front and back, front and back. So once you bring the weight all the way towards the front and bring that left leg off from the floor. Okay, and now either stay here or you can slowly kick your left leg towards the front, like folding from that hip, and stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch it back, bring the left leg down, and then bring your hands all the way towards the front here, and then step back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes, lift your hip up, chest back into your downward facing dog. And I want to work on our scorpion pose. So inhale, gonna kick that right leg up and back. Okay, and this time you're gonna twist and open up that right hip facing to the right side. All right, so you're lifting that right hip away from the floor, and now just bend your right knee, point the toes back, and keep looking at your left toe. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Straighten your right leg, and then just close that right hip back down, square them. We come back like how we get into the pose, and then place your right leg back down. Okay, same thing to the left side. So inhale, we kick your left leg up first, and begin to open up that left hip. So you're twisting the hip to the left side. And slowly bend your left knee and point the toes over to the right side. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Now straighten your left leg first, and then bring the hips back to the center and drop your left leg down. Okay, now look towards the front. I want you to walk both legs all the way to the front of your mat. Inhale to half lift, hands to your calf, look forward, back straight. And exhale, come to a deep fold. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms down to heart center. All right, so we're going to take 2 blocks here coming into a forward fold. So we're going to take 2 blocks placing the 2 block onto the highest level. Okay, yeah. So they're going to be placed right below, okay, the shoulder, and then make sure your feet is right below the hip. Not too far, okay, not too close, just right where is being aligned to. Okay, and just look towards the front here. Inhale, lengthening the spine, okay, pushing the hip back. And when you exhale, you're going to maintain this position and just bend the elbows, straightening the legs, push the knees back, and then bend the elbows and come to a gentle flow. All right, you begin to feel that stretch on your hamstring, but just keep going. Bend that elbows, coming to your most comfortable position. And just stay here, look down between your blocks. If this is way too high for you, you want to go a little bit lower, you feel that your hips are a bit open now, you can just bring 1 level lower, okay, and fold. If you can go a little bit more, flatten the block and fold. So you can take maybe 2 to 3 breaths before you lower them down. Really no rush on this. Really feel the back of that hamstring giving that maximum stretch. Now if you feel that you don't need the block at all, then just move the block to the side. Okay, place your hands down on the floor, keep pushing that hip up, throwing that knees to the back. All right, feel that length at the back of your leg. And then exhale, just reach the chest down, maybe you reach the crown of the head down to the floor. And just let the head hang. Stay here, walk your hands a little bit closer to your feet if you can. Now whichever position you are with or without the block, or whichever level of the block that you're taking, I want you to take note of that stretch that you are currently experiencing. Just maybe you wanted to move the block a bit more, lower it down. Just 1 more breath here. Good. And now from here, just slight bend the knees. Okay, we're going to roll ourselves up to standing. Vertebrae by vertebrae, roll ourselves up. So the lower spine begins to straighten, the mid spine, upper spine, the neck, and lastly, the head comes up. Roll the shoulders back and forward. Okay. And now from here, join your palms to your heart center, open up the feet wide, turn your toes out, prepare for your squatting position again. So slowly come to a squat, show you from the side, okay? So come to a squat, pushing the hip all the way to the back here and place your hands down to the floor. There are a few options you can take. You can continue to stay in this squatting position, or you just place a block right under your hip. So it really depends how comfortable you are. Some of you may experience a bit of ankle pain, all right? Ankle discomfort. So just pop that block right under your hip. And now slowly, you can begin to straighten your right leg out to the side, okay? Pulling the toes up and stay here. So those of you with the block, continue to point that toes up. And then we're going to reach that left hand in front of the left knee, stretch it out to the side and place it down to the floor. Right arm reaching up, so you're practically opening this left hip open, all right? Pushing this left leg all the way to the back. Right arms up. And just stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. All right, now switch side. Bend your right knee and straighten your left leg out to the side. Okay, if you're in your squat, continue to stay in your squat. Okay, you can take the block out and stay here in the squat position. Now bring your right hand in front of your right leg, bring it out to the side, left arm reaching up here. So pick your option. Stay here, keep looking up for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. So if you're sitting on the block, remove the block and just lower your hips down to the floor. Okay? Now we're going to work a little bit on our hip mobility. So everybody sit down to the floor in this position, and then we're going to drop your right knee close to your left leg. All right, so bring that right leg in and place it down next to your left leg. Okay, then after that, we're going to open it up again. Okay, you can use your right hand to push it down and open up. Okay, push it down and open up. Push down and open up, just to build the strength on that joint of your hip, especially on that right hip. All right, now we're currently working on that right hip. So up and down, up and down. Very good. And then come back again here and switch side. So bend your left feet in and straighten your right leg out to the side. Okay. All right. Now, right hand can place on the back, left hand can hold on to, supporting the left knee. And then you're going to push your left knee down and up. Okay, down and up and down and up. Maybe a few more rounds here, feeling that left hip starts to open up a little bit more. Maybe this time open wider. Okay, and down. Last round, maybe wider and down. All right, now lift it up and come into your last pose, opening your legs out to the side, point the toes up. Okay, so we're revisiting back the split. So you can sit on the block if you feel that your back starts to round a little bit here, or you can lean against the wall if you want to. Okay, now for those who sitting upright, flex the toes. Your hips is fully on the floor, hands in front of you. And begin to walk forward. So keep walking, one hand at a time. Keep going. And maybe your elbow starts to lower down to the floor, toes flexing up. Okay. And just stay here. And observe the amazing stretch that your hips can do. So while you're in this position, you can actually lean the chest forward and back. Lean the chest forward and back. So it's the movement is pushing the hips and in, push the hips out towards the back and in. And just few more deep breath here. Last round. And slowly, just walk your hands back in. I want you to bend one knee at a time. Just one knee and the other knee. Okay. And now from here, you're going to roll yourself down to the floor, crossing your right knee over your left knee. Okay, so your feet is going to face out to the side. Both of your knees is right next to each other. Okay, so hold on to, so just hold on to your ankles here, or over behind your left, behind the thighs here to pull it close. Okay, so this is first option. Second option, holding on to the ankle. Okay, flex the toes and just pull it closer towards you. Just stay here for a few deep breaths. And on your next exhale, slowly release and uncross on the other side, and then hold on to your ankle or behind your thighs. Take the option and exhale, just pull the leg close to you. Making sure your sitting bone, your tailbone is on the floor, not lifting up. Okay, just press it towards the floor here. Stay here for another 3 more deep breaths. And exhale, let's release your leg. Just hug both knees to your heart center, rock side to side. Whenever you're ready, come down to your Shavasana, straighten both your legs down, and open up your palms out to the side. Begin to focus on your breath. By now, your breath should be in a very natural state. The body is gently expanding and contracting. Your body is slowly melting down into the floor. Just completely relax. You can continue to stay in your Shavasana as long as you want. If not, you can join me and begin to wriggle the fingers and wriggle your toes. And begin to straighten both of your arms above your head. Join both feet together to touch. And give your spine a long and deep stretch. And now slowly release. Begin to bend one knee at a time. And hug both knees to your chest. And just rock side to side. And slowly roll to your right side. And push yourself back up to seated. You can continue to close your eyes and find yourself in a cross-legged sitting position. Hand resting on your knee. And just take a moment here to recollect the feeling, recollect the breath. And just put a gentle smile across your face. And then just bring both of your palms together in front of your heart center. Humbly bow down and namaste, everyone. And thank you so much for joining me in today's class. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Namaste.